Ravens Joe, what up? Nano, what's good? Big Jeff in the building. Iconic El Rey. What's the vibes? If y'all on Kick and y'all ain't spamming stickers right now, I'm really upset with y'all. Before I cut this camera on, if you on Kick, you do not have to be a supporter. All you have to do is be a follower. You can spam the stickers. Let me see something. We got the best stickers in the nation. Nobody got more and better stickers than us. Come on, man. Talk to me. KT2 to go. DB Edward B. Who else in here? Let me see something. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. All right. It's time. Got the two-tone blue on. The dollar thrift store Henley. $7 Old Navy jeans. Dollar beanie from the Chinese supply store. Dollar Vince Young skull sport cap from the Chinese supply store. Add it up. It's $1. It's $1. It's $1. $7 is $10. And I still pull your with no lineup in Crocs. Come on, man. Don't make me get back on the microphone, man. Don't make me get back on the microphone. Caleb Downs there at 9. You jumping ahead of Cincy. I hear you talking, but that ain't what we here to talk about. I hope everybody having a blessed day. We back in the shop. We back popping. If you didn't get a chance to check out yesterday's video where I went back to ask the question of all those naysayers that said we shouldn't take Cam Ward or go after Shedeur Sanders, and that Jackson Dart and Tyler Shough all wind up being better than this year's quarterback draft class that's supposed to be worth tanking for. Go check that video out from yesterday. Like, comment, share, and of course, if we don't get into anything on the stream, go back, drop it in the comments of the YouTube. I will double back, and I promise I will make a reel or some type of content, a picture post or something. Mr. and Mrs. Rent Due Gaming in the building. What up? All right, man, today, y'all know I've been talking about a particular running back, a former Alabama Crimson Tide running back that I wanted the Tennessee Titans to go get. They signed with the Atlanta Falcons, the Fighting Stefanskis, a mean 1-2 punch with B. John Robinson and Brian Robinson. The Robinson brothers is now in Atlanta, $2.5 million. I'm sad. A single tear ran down my cheek. But you know what Unc do? Unc got aces and deuces up his sleeve. I still got trump cards. I still got spades. You know what I'm saying? When they think you ain't got no more spades and you throw a 3 of spade and win the whole, you know what I'm saying? That's what Unc got. And Unc got to show you what's left in free agency. Brian Robinson is now with Bijan in Atlanta. But if we're looking for two veteran backs that are between the tackles and tough yardage guys, which I don't see Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears as those type of guys. And who knows if Khalil Mullins can, at 6'2", 225, bell cow out of Michigan, if he can matriculate into this type of back. But Najee Harris coming off a major injury, but rehabbing well, ahead of schedule. And Joe Mixon, who is alleged that he had a Plaxico burst, and that's the reason why he's no longer on the Texans after they traded for David Montgomery and the emergence of Woody Marks with Nick Chubb stepping on. But if you're talking about saving some money and being part of Bergonzi's master class, who wouldn't give $2.5 million to take a shot at either Joe Mixon or Najee Harris? Now, Unc ain't biased, and Unc don't let his biases get in the way of his sports talk. I would be fine with either one of these guys as a $2.5 million incentive-based contract option to come in and be a nice veteran between the tackles back. If they cut Tony Pollard and go in the draft and get a running back in the draft, whether it's Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, or anybody else, right? I would be happy with Joe Mixon, but I'm going to tell you, would be a better fit would be Najee Harris. Now, let me tell you why Najee Harris would be a better fit than Joe Mixon. Not only is he 2 years younger, if you look at the numbers, I'd be cool with taking a guy like Joe Mixon, who's been in the league for 7 years, and took last year off. So, 600, 1100, 400, 1200, 800, 1000, 7,500 career rushing yards. Definitely a veteran running back to match with a running back in the draft, with Tajay Spears being on his last year. Needing somebody that could get those tough yards, those 3rd and 1s, those on the goal line. You need somebody that Tennessee Titans, since Derrick Henry has left, have nobody that can sniff out the end zone when the Tennessee Titans get in the red zone. But look at Najee Harris, 2 years younger. And when you look at the timetable he's been in the league with the Pittsburgh Steelers, every year he was there, he was 1,000-yard back. Now, 1,200 yards, 1,034, 1,035, 1,043, and last year suffered an injury only after 15 carries, and him rehabbing. He's a guy that you could get for next to nothing. You telling me you wouldn't spend $2.5 million on Najee Harris to come back and it be his 5th full year playing? I mean, when you think about Najee Harris' size and speed, we talking about like great value Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit smaller, but he's that tough in between north and south back. There will be a perfect fit with Jeremiah Love, and then you have Khalil Mullins to replace the Julius Chestnut role, and then Tajay on his last year. Because obviously, if you're telling me you're going to cut Tony Pollard and put $7 million back in your pocket, and then pick up Najee Harris for $2.5, and then turn around and go get Jeremiah Love in the draft, Jeremiah Love, Tajay Spears, Najee Harris, Khalil Mullins, now we sound like Tennessee Titan running back you. You know what I'm saying? I just had an epiphany, so I just wanted to see what y'all think, man. I had to spin through the shop today in my two-tone. They say we ain't two-tone no more, but sure look like two-tone to me. All right, now let me get caught up in the chat, man. I had to get through that spiel. I had to burn one when I got one in my pocket like that. Your Big Jeff, I will say, you're the only person that thought Jackson Dart was a top 15 pick. But remember, when you said that, I said I didn't think he's a top 15 pick. But I said, if we was to trade back and draft the edge rusher and draft Jackson Dart later, I said I would have, or Jalen Milroe, I would have no problem with that. Because that was the conversation. It never was, is Jackson Dart QB3? It was, I was like, would somebody take a chance on Jalen Milroe at QB3 and Jackson Dart QB4? But either way, Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe, Shador Sanders, Cam Ward. I would take any of them over this year's draft class of people that was crying about QBs. But I definitely will give you your flowers, Big Jeff. You definitely was championing for Jackson Dart. It's going to be interesting to see him in year 2 with Harbaugh. Great pickup for Atlanta. Algiers gone already. Algiers already had got picked up very early in free agency. Q was popping. He said, no way, Tony Pollard getting cut. Tony Pollard is due $9 million, sir. He has only $2 million guaranteed. Rand Carthon may have made a lot of mistakes in free agency, but one thing he did do is he left himself out. And if you're telling me you can cut Tony Pollard and put $7 million back in your pocket on top of the league leading $55 million in effective cap space, that would take the Tennessee Titans up to $62 million, and then they give the $2 million to Najee Harris, and then you have $60 million. It's only going to cost you $15 to $20 million to sign your rookies. Tennessee Titans could still go get the most expensive player in the NFL if they wanted to. So, if you're telling me that you in the Tennessee Titans offense that you wouldn't trade Tony Pollard and put $7 million in your pocket and give Najee Harris or Joe Mixon $2.5 million, like I need to see you and look you in your eyes. Said Najee because of age alone. Mixon will cost more than they won't, because he was released due to non-football related situations. So like they both, like he asked to be released, so wherever he goes is going to be prove-it deals. Because in my estimation, if a team wanted to go out and get Joe Mixon or Najee Harris and spend a bunch of money, they would have already been and done it. So once we pass the initial wave of free agency, these will be guys that'll be picked up post-draft. But if I'm in the Titans, I'll just roll the dice, cut Tony Pollard and go give Najee Harris $2.5 million and just tell him, like, bro, take your time coming back. We're going to have a rookie running back, Tajay Spears and Khalil Mullins. And then you have a temporary piece like Julius Chestnut to take camp reps until. But, I mean, if you go see Najee Harris's workouts, he's ahead of schedule. He's back running full speed already. Yeah, yards after contact is a big deal because the Titans haven't had anybody on 3rd and short, 4th and short, or on the goal line. Tennessee Titans can't score with a pencil. It used to be automatic to just give the ball to Derrick Henry or let Ryan Tannehill sneak it in. But since those days, like, go look at the Tennessee Titans red zone numbers. We used to be one of the best red zone teams in the league because you either got to sell out to stop Derrick Henry or you give the quarterback a free bootleg and a 2-man game option with the tight end, which is our strong suit. So that's something that the Tennessee Titans need, is somebody that when we know we're going to run the ball, like it's 3rd and 1, like the Tennessee Titans need to be able to line up and just run it. The Seahawks in the Super Bowl were able to say, you know what? We're just going to line up and run it. Let's see if you stop it or not. Definitely, Jeff. Stevie B say, I like it. Corey. I had Dart as my QB2 in last year's draft. See, in the shop, we were saying, like, it depends on if the Titans like Ward or Sanders after they have their meetings. Then it was a consensus that they like Ward. So after that, I'm thinking, like, okay, if a team felt good about Shador, Jackson Dart, or Milroe, like, I still feel like any of those options are better than the options that they have this year in this upcoming draft. Tony Pollard definitely gone. We need that money. Support. Penix went at 8. The thing with Penix was never his skill set. The thing with Penix was, can he stay healthy, bro? Like I mean, the Atlanta Falcons have 2 QBs that's basically that. Can Penix or Tua stay on the field? If Penix or Tua stay on the field, they're both dangerous spinning the football. Like, I don't think anybody will contest can Tua and Michael Penix spin the football. It just, Can they stay on the field? And last year I told y'all with Kirk Cousins, I didn't think he'd be able to stay on the field at his age coming off the injury he came off of. And he hit a wall. He hit a physical wall where he came back too soon. He had a 6-week stretch where he didn't have a touchdown. And that was the end of Kirk Cousins in Atlanta. Moore was good. Upshaw was popping. B. Walker was good player. But, you know, I'm just one of those guys, man, that I think if the Tennessee Titans was to go out and add Najee Harris, I think that would be a nice fit on a prove it deal, because you don't necessarily need him. But if he was to come back healthy by next season to start the season, and you told me that you drafted Jeremiah Love and you had Najee Harris and Tajay Spears, Khalil Mullins was your 4 running backs, I would feel very good about how dynamic and how much pressure they would take off of Cam Ward. What's my thoughts about Ty Simpson? Yesterday's podcast was literally the Ty Simpson show. I think if Ty Simpson goes and sits on the right team, and like the Rams or the Jets, where he can sit behind a veteran, I think Ty Simpson will be a goon. I think he was hurt at the end of last season, and Bama couldn't run the ball, and the hits added up. I mean, Corey, $2.5 million for Brian Robinson to the Falcons to play behind Bijan. So, in essence, to me, if you're talking about like expected value, because Najee Harris and Joe Mixon have already gotten pretty decent money. If you're Najee Harris, like, come for $2.5 million, bro. Titans, like, think about it. Titans can cut Tony Pollard, save $7 million, give $2.5 million to Najee Harris, and spend the rest on Love's rookie contract for next year. I mean, there's an even wash. I'm trading Tony Pollard for Jeremiah Love and Najee Harris. Like, who's gonna really sit here and argue with me about that? Like, is there anybody in the crowd that's like, no, we would rather pay Tony Pollard $9 million than to cut Tony Pollard and to put $2.5 million into Najee Harris and then let the remainder of the $4.5 million go to Jeremiah Love's first year as a Tennessee Titan? Like, there's nobody arguing that. And then at the end of the year, Najee's deal is up. Then you have Tajay Spears' deal is up. Then you have Jeremiah Love, Khalil Mullins. And if Najee Harris actually does come through, he's only played 4 full seasons in the NFL. Because he only had 15 carries last year before he got hurt. I mean, when you look at Joe Mixon has played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 full seasons, and Najee Harris only played 4. So you'll be getting a back with more tread on the tires and a more bigger physical back, more in that Derrick Henry size and frame. And it's not like Najee Harris can't do it all. Definitely somebody that could be in heavy in the rotation for Brian Daboll. I think Brian Daboll could do something with Najee Harris. It's the perfect scenario. I don't see that, Rogue. I don't see that. Reason why I don't see a Tony Pollard trade is because nobody's going to take on the $9 million that Tony Pollard got to get paid. And the Titans just eating cap. I mean, they could eat the cap, but I mean, I don't see anybody trading draft capital for Tony Pollard, bro. With all due respect to TP, because TP's best years as a running back, numbers wise, is with the Tennessee Titans. Jeremiah Love is not making it to 12, Jeff. Sonny Styles, Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Love. I don't think they get to 12. I mean, Caleb Downs. I don't think it. Like Mansour Delane, like really like number one of most positions. I think is gone at 12. Chip. I think y'all got to move up. Y'all got 2 first round picks. You got to move up if it's somebody that you feel like you can't lose. He said, I don't care. I don't care. By all means, go get Jeremiah Love. Talk to me. League is going back to running the ball. No, the league never stopped running the ball. They were trying to devalue running backs because they didn't want running backs to start getting paid $20 million. I mean, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs. Like when has like James Cooks to the Bills? Like when has the running back position not been important in the NFL? Like even you think about the Chiefs run, the Chiefs had like 10 running backs. I mean, you have Pacheco, they brought back they brought back what's his face, and you know, before when he was with the Chiefs, before he went back, he was the leading rusher in the NFL. Alvin Kamara, I mean, since when was like running back not important? Like defense blocking and running the football will never not be the most important thing in football. You know, it's like blocking and rebounding in basketball was always going to be important. Like playing defense, blocking and rebounding is always going to be part of basketball. Like when is running the football not important in football? Like just find me we just watched K9 be the MVP in the Super Bowl because the offenses was stagnant. They just ran the football and played defense. The Eagles, you know, Saquon Barkley had one of arguably the greatest year ever from a running back, and the Eagles defense shut down the Chiefs. Like, if you can run the ball and play defense, you're gonna be fine. Love, Harris, Spears, and Mullins. Like y'all keep forgetting about Tajay Spears. Like Tajay Spears is a guy that don't gotta touch the ball many times in the season to get 400 or 500 yards. I just think he was always misused. Cause like, you know, you get in the situation where that's your 3-back rotation. Like you'll be pretty nasty. Cause we don't know what Khalil Mullins is. He was a converted linebacker to running back at Michigan that turned into a bell cow. And then he got hurt 75% of his rookie season. And he came in as a short yardage back at the end of last year, but we don't know what Khalil Mullins is. But I would like to say, give me Love, Najee Harris, Tajay Spears, and Khalil Mullins pushing Julius Chestnut to the practice squad. That, like, if you telling me that's our 4 backs now, like that would make me feel like the year we had Derrick Henry, Deontay Foreman, Dontrell Hilliard. Like we was deeper at running back there. And I think that was the year that Adrian Peterson played too. So, you know, like give me something like that. You seen crazier stuff happen? I have too. He's not going back to Dallas. They got Javonte Williams for dirt cheap. I wouldn't mind him in Ravens rotation. Ravens, Joe, didn't y'all let Keaton Mitchell leave? Maybe if they add more picks in the next year's draft, I think they could pull it off. They got 9 draft picks. Like, how many more do they need? If you're talking about trading a player to get a player, I think Will Levis will have way more value to trade for a player than Tony Pollard because he's only due $1.5 million. They really tried to devalue the running back, and then the running back took over. Kareem Hunt said Spears about to eat in this system. Only thing about Spears is I don't think he'll ever be healthy enough to play 17 game seasons. I don't think he'll be healthy enough to take the ball 20 times a game. I love Tajay Spears, but you know, with this being his last year, if we get draft Jeremiah Love, like there's zero chance that Tajay Spears is still a Titan unless like somebody wanted to trade a 7th round pick for Tajay Spears or something. I don't want to have to pay Pickens $40 million a season. That's the position y'all put yourself in. Man, Ravens, Joe, y'all know what I'm about. Shotbybuddha gonna run the football. Hilliard used to cut up. I mean, Deontay Foreman and Dontrell Hilliard had Titan fans wanting to trade Derrick Henry. And then Derrick Henry said, hold my beer. Dallas been making good moves the last few years. You have to admit. Pollard and Ravens rotation. Well, Ravens, Joe, if y'all would have made that field goal last year and we would have got a 4th round pick instead of a 5th, we would have sent y'all Tony Pollard, Bud. We not doing y'all no favor since y'all missed that field goal. Nah, I mean, like, you gotta think, like, we ran Pollard in the dirt the last 2 years. Pollard is pretty beat up. Keaton Mitchell is a young back. Like, but Tony Pollard is a good, like, if he was a secondary back, like, he would be pretty good because he still can do things. Pollard with the ball in his hand still runs hard. But I mean, why would you get, like, Rogue, if you pick at 4 and you pick at 35 and 66, why would you be trading up? Why would you be trying to trade into the first round and you pick 35? Wouldn't it make more sense to trade out of 4 and try to get 2 firsts for 4? Like if the Chiefs wanted to give you 9 and 29, or the Browns wanted to give you 6 and 24, or the Cowboys wanted to give you 12 and 20, whatever number that is. It would make more sense to trade out of 4 and pick twice in the first round than to trade up. It would make more sense to do that, because if they trade Will Levis, they're gonna have 10 draft picks. In the Cincinnati game, we should have had Ryan Tannehill just not wet the bed. He ran a bubble screen and got picked on the goal line. That Cincinnati game was just all bad. Henry shouldn't have sat that game. Henry was fine. You remember the electricity in that game, and they ran that motion, off tackle, play action left, turn around, dig route right, and Ryan Tannehill only had one route to read and threw the ball and hit Jesse Bates in the face mask. Like, that's not on Derrick Henry. That's not, Deontay Foreman didn't change that. Like, the first play of the game at home, in a home game where you got the number 1 seed in the AFC, your quarterback does a play action fake to Derrick Henry and throws the ball and hit Jesse Bates in the teeth. He also tries to throw a bubble screen to Chester Rogers on the goal line. He also threw a pick trying to throw the ball to NWI instead of AJ Brown with the game on the line. So I'm not of the opinion that Derrick Henry should have sat that game. Like, Derrick Henry just being on the field gave us what it needed to give us. Was Deontay Foreman running hard? Yes. Was Dontrell Hilliard running hard? Yes. And people was wanting to get rid of Derrick Henry. And I'm like, what did Deontay Foreman do the next 2 years after that? Where's Deontay Foreman now? He said we still ain't recovered. Man, let's not live in the past, man. I don't think if Bane falls, he don't fall far. But Joe Blacko, the more I'm thinking about it, I think the Titans are throwing a smokescreen. I don't think the Titans want to draft Ruben Bain. I think they want Arvell Reese. I think Arvell Reese is the person that people need to be thinking about. Because if you listen to the coaches talk, they'll say Arvell Reese has the potential to be better than Sonny Styles and everybody else that played on Ohio State. RPO, Big Jeff. We really haven't recovered since that game. I don't even think that was bad play calling. It's bad execution by Tannehill. 17 just wet the bed, bro. Like, that's the perfect play call. Derrick Henry was out since October. He comes back. We do that motion shift play action left where he fakes the handoff and turns around and stands up. AJ Brown and Julio Jones is the 2 reads. Ryan Tannehill should have seen Jesse Bates. You had 2 weeks to watch tape. And when Jesse Bates charged down to the middle of the field in the robber, he should have taken the ball and scrambled out and tried to pick up 5 yards and hand the ball to the referee. On that RPO, if you remember, Hill and some of the DBs for the Bengals said on the bench they had tape behind the scenes that he said next time he throw that RPO, I'm gonna get it. Why are we throwing the ball to Chester Rogers inside the 10-yard line anyways? Why we wasn't handing the ball off? Why that pass wasn't going to Julio Jones or AJ Brown? We'll never know. So like that's not play calling. That's the quarterback making the wrong read. 2. Number 3. And he did a lazy fake that they was waiting on. And 3, that pick to NWI. Like after throwing the pick to Marcus Peters, throwing that Khalif Raymond when AJ Brown was wide open in the Ravens game that year, coming back the next year and looking at that tape and that film for an entire offseason, an entire year, and watching tape for 2 weeks, if he throws the ball to AJ Brown or Julio Jones in triple coverage and the ball gets picked, nobody is even mad. If he checks it to Anthony Ferguson and Ferguson doesn't make it, nobody's mad. If he throws the ball and check down valve release to Dontrell Hilliard, nobody's mad. The problem with that position is the one place he couldn't throw the ball to, he threw it late over the middle and it got picked off in field goal range. Like if he throws a bomb that gets picked off to AJ Brown 30 yards down the field, they're not in field goal range. That's the whole point about that. That's not bad play calling. That's bad execution by your quarterback. 17 just wet the bed. One of the best Titan quarterbacks in the franchise history, whether people want to admit it or not. But he ruined his legacy with that, and then being on that boat looking crazy when they drafted Malik Willis. Darnell wide open. I don't think Sonny Styles, a middle linebacker, gets picked at 4, but I think for sure Arvell Reese could be picked at picked at 4, and he could replace Cody Barton and play the edge. I think he could do a lot. I think he'd be a Swiss Army knife linebacker. Like I think Arvell Reese is just like the one with the highest ceiling. So if Ruben Bain could be a dog, but Arvell Reese could be like a freak of nature. So it's like if he took Arvell Reese, I wouldn't be mad. I understand the Ruben Bain, I understand the Sonny Styles, I understand the David Bailey, but I think Arvell Reese has the highest ceiling. And then like the best player, I think if you're taking Jeremiah Love, everybody's happy. Tanny definitely sold. I did a whole video on it, Corey. Yeah, I mean, what quarterback, like that's why when he said bad play call, I'm like, what quarterback reads the defense and has AJ Brown 1-on-1 on the boundary corner, and I think it was Marlon Humphrey, who says I don't trust AJ Brown 1-on-1. I want Khalif Raymond to beat Marcus Peters. Like that just didn't make sense. I think the Cards are going to trade out of 3. And this is where I came up with this running back situation. When Robinson was gone, we're not bringing Hassan Haskins back. I'm looking through the running backs. Obviously, Robinson got signed for $2.5 million. He got signed for $500,000 under his projected value. I'm not taking Antonio Gibson over Najee. So I mean, when you look at Najee Harris, I felt like Najee Harris for the age at 28 and not playing football last year, if you could get Najee Harris for 2.5, I think that's the move. Tennessee Titan fans, Najee Harris, Jeremiah Love, Tajay Spears, Khalil Mullins, that's the quattro, that's the quartet. Put it in ink, crystal balls in the chat, and then you're gonna go hear some people say that, man, Shotbybuddha be getting stuff from. No, I don't. You ain't heard nobody come up with this. Bro, literally, I've been sitting here looking at Spo Track trying to figure out what backs we could get, and I just thought Najee Harris made sense. You know, it's the same coming off that mold of Derrick Henry, adding another back that could handle the load. And if you didn't get Jeremiah Love and you had Najee Harris and you still cut Tony Pollard and saved that money, if you had Najee Harris, Tajay Spears, Khalil Mullins, and you took a later back like Jadarian Price, Nick Singleton, Henry out of UTSA, Taylor from Virginia, like you could go that route too, because nobody could tell me a healthy Najee Harris and Dabo's offense wouldn't give you them same 1,000 yards you get out of Pollard for $5 million less. It was heartbreaking, man. It was like seeing your girl cheat on you in real time in 4K. All right, man. That's a good 30 burger. That's what I have for today, man. I might pop out tonight and be frustrated on some Fallout. New Vintage Titan episode coming soon. Make sure y'all check out the offline content. Like, comment, share the YouTube. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all been showing Unc a lot of love, giving me the motivation to come in here and do this every day in the shop. Y'all know the vibes, man. God first in the chat. And we out. Hit that subscribe, like, comment, share. Tap into the daily uploads at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you missed the live streams, you got picture in picture. And if I don't get to any questions during the live streams or the pause, drop them in the comments. I'll make it part of the weekly mailbag. If you're following on the blue, smash those reactions. I know you're an OG. Hit that like, comment, share, tap into the daily content that is the shop. If you're new to the shop, you definitely should be tapped in on the green. No ads, up to 50 emotes free for just being a follower. You do not have to be a supporter to unlock picture in picture, late night streams. Follow us on Kick. We also live on Twitch. Look out for the drops, as well as if you have Amazon Prime, it's free $99 to sub to the channel once a month. Don't let Jeff Bezos stick that money back in his pocket. If you don't use it on the shop, use it on another content creator that you like. I still call it Twitter, but follow us on X. We tweet back. If you missed the daily shop talks, make sure you tap in for the late night cap on the purple and the green. The Discord is always open. Outside of subs, donos, and cash apps, there's also another way to support the content. That's by grabbing a trucker hat, a bandana, hoodies, classic barbershop, Vibe Nation, right out of the official